Good morning. All right, we're enthusiastic. I like that. Welcome. What a beautiful day to be in Genesee County today. We could not ask for better weather or a better place to be to celebrate today's momentous groundbreaking. My name is Mark Massey. I'm the Senior Vice President of Operations at the Genesee County Economic Development Center. I would be remiss if I did not convey a warm welcome from GCDC President and CEO Steve Hyde, who unfortunately could not be with us here today. I know all of you realize how passionate Steve is regarding STAMP and economic development within Genesee County. I'd like to thank our guests on stage, led by our Governor, Kathy Hochul, State Senator Edward Rath, Assemblyman Steve Hawley, Genesee County Legislature Chair Shelley Stein, and Plug Power CEO Andy Marsh. I'd also like to welcome Justin Driscoll, the Interim President and CEO of the New York Power Authority, and New York Power Authority Chairman John Colmel. In addition, I'd like to recognize a few of the leaders joining us here today. STAMP truly is a collaborative effort, and we wouldn't be here today without all of your support. Please hold your applause until after I get a chance to introduce everybody. We have Matt Landers, Genesee County Manager, Genesee County Legislators Gordon Dibble and Greg Torrey, Rob Crossan, Supervisor of the Town of Alabama, Matt Hurlbut, President and CEO of Greater Rochester Enterprise, and Tom Kacharski, President and CEO of Invest Buffalo Niagara, Vinny Esposito, our Regional Director in the Finger Lakes with Empire State Development, Chris Zeltman and Andrew Cook from Senate Majority Leader Schumer's team, Greg Post, Supervisor for the Town of Batavia, Kim Wolkett, Council Member of Oakfield, Rachel Tabelski, Manager of the City of Batavia, and John Fiskus, Superintendent of the Oakfield, Alabama School District. I also want to acknowledge the members of the Town Board of the Town of Alabama, Deputy Supervisor Kevin Fisher, Councilperson Pamela LeGroux, Councilperson Jill Klotzbach, Councilperson Kevin Veazey. Governor Kathy Hochul is no stranger to Genesee County. She's been here several times to help us celebrate all the great economic development projects taking place in downtown Batavia as part of the state's Downtown Revitalization Initiative. She's toured our office parks, farms, and other businesses across our county. Governor Hochul has been steadfast in her support of STAMP. This support is in full force today as part of Plug Power's announcement. New York State has invested tens of millions of dollars at STAMP through the years, and the capital investment being made here by Plug is a 3 to 4 times rate of return on that investment for one project. Plug Power is a prime example of the historic public and private sector green energy investments being made by New York State. The efforts by New York State officials include the first of its kind in national emission goals through the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. We believe that Plug Power is just the starting point in a chain reaction effect that will result in success not only at STAMP, but across the state. In fact, interest at STAMP among corporate site selectors from the advanced manufacturing sector, including semiconductor and clean energy, has never been stronger. There is a long queue of prospects constantly asking for information, meetings, and visiting the site. Our region and our site are very suitable for companies such as Plug Power to succeed and make a lasting impact. STAMP's infrastructure capacities, low-cost hydropower, land availability, transportation logistics, and our business-friendly environment create a successful blueprint for companies of all industries, particularly those in the advanced manufacturing and green energy sectors. And the greatest resource of our region is our people. We are 2.1 million people strong within 60 miles. Within that radius, we have 57 colleges and universities, 9 major training centers, and 4,000 engineering graduates annually. The only thing that's holding us back now is increasing the capacities of our existing infrastructure to make the site completely shovel-ready. This would have the full water, sewer, and electric at the property line for any company looking to locate here so they could move quickly to construct their facility and be up and running as soon as possible. We are hopeful that New York State will continue to make infrastructure investments to advance the shovel readiness of mega sites. There have been great results from this approach. At STAMP, this investment will help us replicate what is occurring at Global Foundries at Luther Force in the Capital District and Crees, now known as Wolfspeed, and its $1 billion chip factory in the Mohawk Valley. These successes, as well as Plug Power, prove that New York State is receiving a large rate of return on its investments in these sites. STAMP is on the verge of transforming the economic ecosystem of the Buffalo, Niagara, Rochester, and Finger Lakes regions. We know that New York State, under Governor Hochul's leadership, recognizes this and will continue to be in our corner. Let's give a warm Genesee County welcome to New York State Governor Kathy Hochul.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I am so delighted to be back home again. This county was an important part of my congressional district, and I heard Mark say I was here a few times. I was here a few times a week, and I've been to your candy stores and your shops and your restaurants and your downtown, and had the opportunity to talk about the Downtown Revitalization Initiative and so many other transformative projects. So when I come back home here, it gives me this sense of not just excitement about what we've done in the past, but the possibilities of the future. And ladies and gentlemen, the future is starting today. This project, with the support of so many people, and the idea has been nurtured and fermented and moved along for literally 15 years. And I want to thank some of the early visionaries, like Steve Hyde, who had a strategic plan for this long before anybody could have imagined that this field could be transformed into the leader of the clean energy revolution, and many other projects to come. Also, Senator Mary Lou Rath had a hand in this when she represented this area, and so many other people, our elected officials, our assembly member, Senator Ed Rath and Steve Hawley, carrying on your mother's tradition, of course, give the mom the credits from here. Assembly member Steve Hawley and Shelley Stein. We've had so many meetings over the years. Literally just less than a year ago, we sat together in Batavia Town Hall with Rachel and Steve and just said, let's get this done. Let's get this over the finish line. And I want to thank all of them, and also our local elected officials, our Town of Alabama Supervisor, Rob Cross. I come out of local government, so it's all about local government to me. Our Genesee County legislators, Craig Torrey and Legislator Gordon Dibble. Thank you for never giving up, for always having the faith. Your persistence and patience has paid off. And that's what today is all about. So, Mark, thank you. Please give our love and gratitude to Steve Hyde. I know he had a very important family commitment, which he could not get out of. I know what it is, and he's smart to be with his family today. To keep the longevity of the marriages going. I believe that. And to Andy March, thank you for just seeing the possibilities here. We are so excited to be there in Rochester when you announced the opportunities there just about a year ago. I'm going to come visit to see the expansion that you're talking about. But it's companies, it's people, and it's also places. And this place has been just crying out for an opportunity like this to show what it was really made out of. And the location, and I've always said this region is spectacular because of its proximity to two larger urban areas, but as you heard from Mark, the educational institutions and the training and the investment in people to give the employers who find this place on earth know that they're going to have some of the best qualified, most educated, trained workers on this planet right here in this region. There is a strong work ethic here. I come from just a little bit down the road, the granddaughter of a steel worker at the steel plant. My dad worked at the steel plant. In Rochester, he worked at Eastman Kodak and many other jobs. People are used to working hard. And employers are recognizing that this is in our DNA, that this is what they will get when they come here and invest in here. They'll get the very best people. But also to know that this is the place where the clean energy revolution is happening. Outstanding, outstanding. And I want to thank, when I think about clean energy revolutions, my friends at NYPA, John Comel, and what Gil Quinones has done, and he will be sorely, sorely missed. You have just really harnessed the power of the Niagara River and spread that energy across this state, literally spread the energy across the state, but to invest in here and to send a message that this project is important enough to have your investments, but also the transfer of electricity here and power here and the conversion into green hydrogen, that's not happening anywhere else. Nowhere else are they being that creative. It's happening here in Genesee County. And as a result, we'll have North America's largest green hydrogen production facility here in the state of New York, but right here in Genesee County. Let's give that a round of applause, because that is the headline. That is the story of today. And This is going to be a catalyst for other people to want to come here, to say, yes, Plug Power, they're really smart, they're successful, and what do they know that we need to know? And it's location, and it's people, and it's this place right now. And so we're now announcing a $290 million electricity substation and state-of-the-art green hydrogen fuel production, meaning we're making things, facility right here. The first tenet of our new manufacturing park, STAMP, and also the construction of a 450 megawatt electricity substation that'll support its hydrogen facility and future growth. Now, let me put an exclamation point on that. We're ready for the future because of these investments. And we're going to be creating more jobs, and it'll be expected to produce 45 tons of green hydrogen daily. I don't even know what that looks like, but it sounds like a lot, doesn't it? I mean, 45 tons of anything sounds like a lot. So green hydrogen is a buzzword that's out there now as we consider all the approach to our fight against climate change. This is how it's happening, and we're going to establish that this works. And the whole ecosystem that's being created here, and I know this will be talked about in a couple minutes by Andy, what he's doing in Rochester has a direct bearing on here. Think about what happened during the pandemic. People stayed home. They shopped online. Amazon and facilities like that showed up on the door every day to bring them toilet paper, right? Paper towels, all those things, sometimes dinner. How does it get there? Forklifts. Forklifts in facilities that are being built everywhere. How do you power the forklifts? The question is, why not power them with the clean energy of green hydrogen? That's the ecosystem we're talking about here, how there's a direct connection between what's happening here, these investments in Rochester, and here today are leading to this green energy revolution, and it has a direct effect on what's happening literally in our homes. That's what fascinates me, establishing the ecosystem where we see the big picture, and we also incentivize at various points what this looks like. This is $1.5 million from NIPA directly, as well as 10 megawatts of power. Is that right, John? Did I give the right number? I don't want to give them too little, too much. Okay, 10 megawatts of power. Also, our Excelsior credits program, tax credits for all the jobs that are being created to the tune of $2 million. And I am so excited to see this in action and to send a message to the rest of the world. It's happening here in New York because of people 15 years ago who never gave up on a dream. Genesee County, congratulations. You are part of the story of my new administration where we are going big or we're going home. And that means with respect to our investment in our green energy future, it's going to be an all-the-above approach, making sure we have the most aggressive, boldest, clean energy initiatives in the nation. And we're spurring over $29 billion of private investment along with our public investment. And we're going to be creating 12,400 megawatts of green energy. Again, a big number, but that's going to power over 6 million homes. It's happening now. This is not a futuristic dream. It's happening now. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to continue making these investments in the state of New York. We're going to bring jobs home right here in upstate as well. And I will not be a stranger. We have so many more announcements between Buffalo, Rochester, Genesee County, Batavia. The whole Finger Lakes region is on fire. We are bursting out of the constraints of this pandemic. We are all tired of it. And hopefully next time we get together, we're all vaccinated, nobody wears a mask, and we say this pandemic is behind us. That is my goal. My number one priority is to put this behind us. So all the pent-up demand and all the people who cannot wait to see their visions become a reality in places like this, there's no stopping us now, my friends. So thank you very much for persistence, for patience, and keeping the faith. That's why we're here today. Congratulations.
Thank you, Governor Hochul. Entrepreneurship is alive and well in New York State. No further example of that is more evident than what is occurring with one of New York State's homegrown success stories at Plug Power. The green hydrogen economy is here with Plug Power at the forefront. They are the trailblazers for this next great new frontier regarding our state and nation's energy future. Most importantly, Plug Power is leading the development of green energy. technologies, and systems that will help New York State achieve its statutory emissions thresholds as mandated in the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. It is heartening to see that our state leaders, including Governor Hochul, are embracing Plug Power's efforts in transforming our energy future. The GCDC has been working very closely with Plug Power and its leadership team. They are a great partner and will be a tremendous asset to our community and in our efforts to further develop STAMP as their facility gets up and running. We are confident it will create a multiplier effect in our region. Most importantly, Plug Power is putting its money where its mouth is. I know that's cliche, but in this instance it's true. The company is investing its own money to advance the construction of the 345 to 115 kV electrical substation that will be used to power their facility as well as the rest of the STAMP campus. This is in addition to the company's commitment to spend approximately $230 million in capital investment for their facility here. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Andy Marsh, the president and CEO of Plug Power, who will tell you more about the company and its vision for the emerging green energy hydrogen economy and how its facility in Genesee County will be playing a key role.
Wow. Well, thank you, everyone. I love those stories about Plug. I'm glad we got them on tape. but it's, the governor touched on it. But what we're doing here is really, really special. If you go back over 100 years ago, in this area is where George Westinghouse built the real first electrical network in this nation. And hydrogen's really important. And green hydrogen is especially important. People like McKinsey talk about 18% of world's energy is going to come from hydrogen. And right here in the field will be the first large-scale green hydrogen network, not only in New York, not only in the US, but around the world, just like George Westinghouse did with electricity years and years ago. And as many of you know, that was a great accelerator for this local economy. And Plug Power believes with our investments here, which we hope to continue to grow, with our investments in Rochester, we will see the same. And the governor talked about our activities with forklift trucks. 25% of food during COVID actually moved through our products. And it really made the world realize what Plug Power was doing. We were able to raise $5 billion in the public markets, which supplements a lot what goes on with support in New York and other places. We're building out green hydrogen because we know that's the fuel, literally the fuel to propel green hydrogen across the country. And when you look at it, the governor mentioned forklift trucks, but Governor, we're actually doing vehicles now, we're doing large-scale stationary products. We're around the world shipping products out of this region in New York to support everything. Now I want to take a step back and talk about community. I grew up in a regulated monopoly, AT&T, and as a young engineer at Bell Laboratories, I understood that all stakeholders have a place to play to success. Shareholders, customers, employees, and your local community. And for my dealings, I was fortunate enough to meet the governor about 1.5 years ago. And, she had such an interest in what we're doing. I meet many politicians, and, there's some great ones like Senator Schumer who sit down and talk to me. And the lieutenant governor at the time was the same way. She was trying to understand how not only the state of New York could help the company, but, to kind of go back and quote John F. Kennedy, how the company can help the state of New York and the community, and how we could work together to create something special and different. And I think, we talked about, and Mark was nice enough to mention about the substation investment we're making. We want this whole community to be successful. And that's why we're making an investment in this facility, leveraging Niagara Falls Power, but also an investment in this community. We want to see lots of tenants here. We want to see a thriving community. And from my engagement with the governor, I understand she wants the same thing. She has a commitment to clean climate. She has a commitment to green hydrogen, but she has a commitment to make sure this community's great. And we strongly support it. So thank you for allowing us to be a member of your community. We greatly appreciate it. So thank you, and I can't wait to come back here, Sanjay, next October when we're producing green hydrogen from Niagara Falls Power. Now that'll be a real cool gathering, and I'll pull up in a vehicle, which is a hydrogen vehicle, and fill it up here. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. When we talk about infrastructure needs at STAMP, I mentioned the critical component of making sure we had enough energy to power the STAMP campus. An integral part of this effort is the previously mentioned electrical substation. This is a collaborative effort between Plug Power, the New York Power Authority, and National Grid. Everyone is working together so that we can deliver 100% clean and renewable energy to Plug Power and other companies who locate at STAMP. The clean energy provided by NYPA and distributed on-site by National Grid are assets that greatly increase the competitiveness of New York State against the world. This level of clean energy quickly gets the attention of global site selectors. Everything today about a manufacturer's operations is premised on having the cleanest processes and procedures as possible. Having a 100% clean, renewable energy resource is a game changer. NYPA has been an ideal partner in our efforts to bring its clean and renewable energy to STAMP. Again, thank you, Governor Hochul, NYPA Board Chair and Western New York resident John Colmel, interim NYPA CEO and interim President Justin Driscoll, and NYPA staff for your leadership on this critical component of STAMP's infrastructure. People may not realize this, although I think it's been brought up a number of times so far, but the efforts behind STAMP began over a decade ago. In fact, some of the first state funding support for STAMP was through a grant from former New York State Senator Mary Lou Rath. The Rath legacy in the New York State Senate continues today with the election of Ed Rath to the State Senate in 2020. Ed has taken a great interest in STAMP, and we are grateful for his advocacy efforts on our behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome New York State Senator Ed Rath.
Thank you very much. It is wonderful to be here in the heart of the 61st Senate District, Genesee County. Thank you to Governor Hochul, Genesee County Economic Development Center, and my partners in government for giving me the opportunity to participate today. I want to welcome the Plug Power team and CEO Andy Marsh to the community, as well as the 61st Senate District. Thank you so much for your investment in Genesee County and Plug Power's future job creation right here in Genesee County. Plug Power's investment in STAMP marks a major step in a process that has spanned nearly 2 decades. This project is especially important to me as the senator representing this region. As some of you may know, the idea behind STAMP was born almost 16 years ago, and during the tenure of a senator that I'm somewhat familiar with, Senator Mary Lou Rath. Then Senator Rath saw the potential in STAMP and was one of the site's first and loudest cheerleaders. And I told her I was coming here today. She's still a loud cheerleader for STAMP, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. And my predecessor, Senator Mike Ranzenhofer, continued the advocacy and successfully secured major investments which were critical in the build-out of this STAMP site that we stand on here today. At a time when many thought that STAMP was just an idea, leaders in the state Senate trusted the vision and championed the cause. I look forward to continuing the strong advocacy and look forward to assisting in the ongoing success and the build-out of STAMP. Ladies and gentlemen, in business, success breeds success, and momentum generates results. I'm confident that Plug Power's investment in our community will serve as a catalyst to future investment and expansion at STAMP and across our entire region. I'd like to emphasize that Plug Power is making a lasting and an indelible stamp on our future. Once again, a lasting and indelible stamp on our future right here in Genesee County. If the pandemic has taught us anything, investing in domestic manufacturing and green jobs is crucial to our nation and our region's long-term economic security and success. Furthermore, the investment in this site and the collaboration with Plug Power should be a model for achieving our shared goals. As a state, it is important that we encourage and facilitate innovation and invest in strategic industries. And we work to defeat regressive policies that sound good at a press conference but stunt private sector growth. 21st century jobs are at stake, ladies and gentlemen. 21st century jobs are at stake and must be prioritized across New York State. In closing, I want to applaud Genesee County Economic Development Corporation, the town of Alabama, and the many economic development officials and agencies across this region that made this a reality. Thank you again, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Senator Rath. Our next speaker certainly does not need an introduction. I think we all know him, and I think he all knows us. And he's been there since day one in our efforts on behalf of STAMP, and he's been a huge supporter of all our economic development efforts in Genesee County. Please welcome a native son from Genesee County, our Assemblyman Steve Hawley.
Native son. I'm not sure what that means, especially in our location and where we are right now. It's great to be here, and I'd like to certainly welcome Andy Marsh and Plug Power, the entire Plug Power team to this area. And thank you for your investment not only in this property, but the people of Western New York. And this is a regional project. It's located in Genesee County, but this is going to have regional implications for all the folks that live in Western New York. The time, I think, was about 2012, 2013, and there was a Senator Mike Ranzenhofer from just behind me here, the predecessor to a great senator we've got now, Ed Rath, and Mike and myself and former Assemblyman Joe Morelli, who is now Congressman Morelli, and Governor Hochul, along with some of the other members of the second floor, Vinny Esposito with Empire State Development. We're very interested in Western New York and very interested in this site. And I remember about 2014, we were all collectively and as a team able to secure $14 million, or $33 million from New York State to invest in the future of green power. In 2018, we were able to secure, with the help of many people, another $8 million. And in 2020, another $1.5 million from NYPA. This is a state that has invested in private enterprise, a great effort between private enterprise and government working together to create jobs for the future. The progress made in just the past few years has been encouraging, and I'm happy that this day has come because I've seen how hard it can be to create this kind of opportunity. This investment, there is investment needed to create transformational projects, but this is an investment that actually pays off. Plug Power's commitment to invest in this site, our people, and our future is a tremendous milestone. This is the largest investment our county has ever received, so thank you. We are fortunate in Genesee County to have a strong work ethic, as has been mentioned before, and students that excel in STEM programs. We have selfless leaders who focus on building solutions. And Plug Power and companies that follow right here at STAMP will find the same is true across Western New York. I've had the honor of representing communities in Orleans and Genesee and Niagara and Western Monroe County. The benefits of these projects will be shared by all because the talent and collaboration and desire to achieve a better future for our kids and our grandkids is shared by all. And every company that comes to Stamp, and there will be many, will find that our communities are welcoming and attractive. And I know the best way to welcome a project is to speak honestly and briefly. Thank you to Governor Hochul. Thank you very much. Thank you for Governor Hochul for being here today and everyone else. Let's get Plug Power moving and start the countdown to green hydrogen production right here at Stamp. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Assemblyman Hawley. The GCDC is very fortunate to have a strong partner in Genesee County. Our county is not just a business-friendly community in name, we are business-friendly in action. Many of our county legislators also own and operate businesses in our community, which gives them an insight into how government and the private sector can make economic development work. One of these local business owners is the chair of our county legislature, Shelley Stein. Shelley, thank you for your leadership, and to all the members of the county legislature for their continued commitment to support the efforts of the GCDC. Please welcome Genesee County Legislature Chair, Shelley Stein.
Thank you, Mark. To our GCEDC team, I see you, we see you. And to our dedicated volunteer board, thank you. I also want to thank Steve Hyde for his leadership, for our economic development efforts here in Genesee County, and we are truly seeing his hard work and that of the staff of the GCEDC coming to fruition today with Plug Power's announcement. Governor Hochul, welcome home, and we want to see you here on a weekly basis. We're going to be a little greedy. We're delighted to have you here, and since you've entered office, you've hit the ground running. We're enthused by your leadership as the first female governor of the state of New York, and you're tackling some very difficult issues. We ask that you continue your thoughtfulness of our needs in rural New York in your decision making. Today is an example of this. Thank you. Today, though, we celebrate what is transformative clean energy here in Genesee County and New York State for that matter. And we hope that this project is just the beginning of many more success stories here at Stamp. We will continue as a county to see the investments from this, the benefits from this investment here in Genesee County. And companies like Plug Power will employ people right here from both our backyard and our region, and will bring more people to move in and live and grow in our area. There's a direct and positive impact to our economy from companies coming into our community, and I'm excited to see Genesee County thrive for years to come. On behalf of my colleagues in the Genesee County Legislature, I'm joined here today by Legislator Brooks Hawley and Legislator Gordy Dibble. Thank you for being here today. We would like to welcome Andy Marsh and Plug Power to Genesee County, and we're proud to have you here, and we look forward to working with you so that your business is successful, and after all, your success is our success, and that will lead to other companies coming to the Stamp campus in the future. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge our partners in government, including New York State, and the leaders and representatives from our towns, our schools, and our villages here in Genesee County. Your work, your thoughtful dedication to this project here at Stamp has been incredible, and we thank you for that work. Congratulations to our Supervisor Crossan and members of our Alabama town government. You have been the integral part of the efforts to develop this STAMP campus and the key reason why we are here today celebrating Plug Power's announcement. Thank you. Thank you all.